Hello, anyone who might be watching this thing, and it's Paul here again. And sorry about the delay, but I'm going to get working on that tank project again. The Wings 30 and Blender tank, and I don't know, just distractions and stuff going on, and maybe not being in the zone to do it, and then studying on texturing and Blender and stuff, so I can sure I can figure out how to do it right, or at least get on the right track. So without too much further ado, I'm just going to click on my project that I've been reviewing and see if I can pick up from where I left off. And here's the tank, and originally modeled Wings 3D and brought in a Blender. And I think this time around I am going to work on texturing the darn thing. Texture it, we gotta UV map it. So let's get on that, shall we? So I'm going to click on that part here. Is it the whole? So I'm going to switch my layout view to UV edited. Let's see what we got here. No UVs there, but and I think I'm going to solo the view here. I'm going to the backslash key on the number pad and just have the whole up. And I think I gotta go edit mode. Yes, edit mode. Select all. Edit mode. Click on shading UVs. And what do I need to do? I think I need to create a new texture, right? Or do I unwrap it first? Try to remember. I think I unwrap it first. So let's try that, and I am going to use Smart UV Project. And I don't need to mess the weight. The angle limit it starts out with, I think that's fine. So I'm just going to increase the island margin to give it some spacing. Because when you paint UV maps, you want room for a bleed over when you paint it. So island margin just spaces your islands out in your UVs. So here you go. And it has made a layout here. And on the layout, I'm just going to hover over my pointer over this side and hit A for all. And I'm going to scale them all about 95%. And it just makes it slightly smaller, but it gives a little bit more room for paint over bleed and stuff. And I gotta create a new texture. So this is the whole. I'm going to call this the whole map. And I'm going to double that size to 2048. Make the color. Just going to do hue saturation value and bring this up to 5. And I'm just going to have a UV grid so you can see that it's textured. And Smart UV mapping for this actually seems like it knew what it was doing. The more complicated the model, it seems the better the Smart UV map works for the unwrap method. So in this case, it worked great. So click that, and it seems like a usable map. So let's see, object mode and texture, and yes, it's showing the map here. So you can see there's not too much in the way of stretching or weirdness. So that should be ready to paint. So that's one part mapped. That's just the whole. So we go to default view. You can see it's back like this. Pardon me. Yeah. Textured view, you can see that it's there. And switch shading to shadeless. And that lets you see the textures apply without shadows instead of getting away when you turn it on. But alternately, we can go to solid view and click texture solid, and that seems to render lighting better than the textured view for some reason. So I like doing it that way sometimes. So that's just the whole. We gotta do the turrets and the treads too, so let's see if we can do that next, right? So Click on the turret and follow a similar procedure. So let's go back to UV editing. And should have more than one map here. Oh, alright, what's going on here? It's showing a texture. Maybe I have to have it selected. I just want to see something real quick. The editing. Did I make a map for this? Maybe that's what I messed up at, huh? It has the UVs assigned. Yes. But did I make a map for it? I don't think I made a map, so... And click OK. So that's the whole map. Alright. Maybe I left it untitled the first time around. Well, that works. Derp. Let's go back. So we got a whole map, but we need another map for object mode for the turret. And I was thinking of doing more in one piece together on it, but I don't know if I'd mess something up. So, and this can actually be a smaller texture because it's the smaller mesh. So that's another thing with UV mapping too, is the resolution density of your map. You may want it smaller or larger depending on how big your object is. But if you go too low, you're going to end up with pixelated paint jobs, so you gotta be careful about that. But anyhow, get my turret selected, so let's go into UV editing layout. I'm going to solo it again just so I can see the turret. And let's see. Go to edit mode. Select the whole thing. And let's try the smart projection again. Where's the smart UV project? Same settings. Let's see what this does. And layout seems skewed here, so I'm not exactly sure if I like that. Actually, this should be the main turret, right? I could probably get away with 1536 for these. Yeah, it's a little bit skewed. I'm not sure if I like that one. So what I'm going to do is go back into edit mode and try a different method of unwrapping. So what I want to do is Control Tab to get edges. I want to start marking seams. It's a little bit hard to see here, but that one. Yeah, that edge goes around the base. I'm going to mark that as a seam. And as you see, it turns red when I don't have it selected. And if I can select that loop, there. Mark that as a seam. And seam there. Basically what I'm going to do is mark it for unfolding manually. Just takes longer. So that's why Smart UV Project is nice when it does work. Oh, I got a see-through mode here. There. That's probably better, huh? Alright. Select unmarked seam. Is there a hotkey for that? I don't know, I could probably use this one. Let's see a hotkey for it. Probably is one, but it's not listed on my install Blender here. And I don't want that whole loop, I just want parts of that. Because I want this thing to unfold, right? It does take a little bit of time. You know, you're like, oh, why is it taking so damn long? I'm used to deselecting and wings that way. Sorry about that. That marks. And here you gotta select or deselect using A key. See? This is Blender. Alright. You can UV map in wings, but I figured I'd do it in Blender. It does do some things easier in this regard. So. No, it doesn't seem like it here. Yeah, I'm just poking a lot. Alrighty. That marked. Hopefully, I got it marked to unfold nice enough. So it should do so. Oh, I got weird seams selected here. Ah, that's why. Apparently I selected more stuff than I thought I selected. Yes, the bottom can be one big panel. Not sure if there's a way to grow or shrink loops in Blender. There probably is. Might need a plugin for that, but I don't know offhand. See, in Wings, I just know it's really easy to grow or shrink loops with the hotkeys. Same when it uses the select loops. But I'm just poking along here. Blender has this own way. Sure. Just gotta do it manually, clean it up. Clear the seams I didn't expect to grab. Sometimes that gets annoying when you're trying to select Swifty. Little tool thing, you just gotta click something else to get it out of the way. So you can click on a thing you really want to get. Because it'll just sit there blocking your area from being selected. Alright, here. I think that's it. And that loop, I can mark that with seam. So, let's unwrap this. Plain old unwrap. Did it work? Well, I probably have to select all of it. Yeah, this looks a lot better. A manual unwrap. So, A scale 0.95. And that looks like a pretty good layout here. probably move some of these islands apart. Using Control L to select the island, and I can just grab it, space them out a little bit. It doesn't seem like a terribly bad unfolding job here, so. I think that will do for that. Should be able to tab out of editing mode here. View it textured. Doesn't look like it's terribly stretched out anywhere. Maybe a little bit on that part, but it's going to be overlapped by a smaller turret. It's pretty uniform, so I think that looks good. Alright. Yeah, it is a tighter map, but as you can see, it's a smaller object, so that works fine. Alright. I got wheels and the guns to do. Partial barrels. Let's see what now you could redo it like I said to have them all share the same map. But I'm not going to worry about that. Because we'll just paint it by hand when we get there. Alright. So you see how that works? If the smart unwrapping doesn't work, then you just manually do it. And let's see if we can do the wheels. So, wheels are going to be mapped next. I might do another video later for actual texturing. So this is just the unwrapping stage. I'll just call it that. Alright, what do I want to do? Wheels. Let's do the wheels. You can do a cylindrical projection, but I found like maybe a way that might be easier, so I'm going to try that. So, let's edit the wheel. Oh, weird. Why is the wheel and small turret coming up? Do I have more than one thing selected? Maybe that's it, huh? Yeah, that helps. I had more than one thing selected. Okay. So I just want to map the wheel. And so gotta go into edit mode, don't I? And arc seam there. Arc seam there. This thing is a smooth preview, isn't it? So default. I'm gonna turn that off. Go back to editing. Now I need the smooth preview because it's kind of obstructing some of the stuff I need to see. So when it comes to marking seams. guess that might be good. I think that might be good. And, oh wait, it's a wheel, isn't it? So, I am going to split this thing and not quite all the way in half. I don't want all that selected. I want. Can I shrink or grow my selection? Let's see. Nope, not like that. Yeah, it's taking long, isn't it? Can't see there. So yeah, sometimes I have to select off the edge to get that thing out of my way. Cursor, hot point, or whatever it is. Selection hot point. Alright. So what I want to do is split this so when I map it out, and it unfolds, I can spread it out over a map a bit more. So if I had one long piece, it wouldn't have enough room to go in the grid, or square, or whatever you want to call it. Right. I have to keep moving its selection out of the way so I can select a different spot. Alright. I think that's it. So yeah, now it's split in half. And let's try an unwrap. Should I try smart or regular? Let's see what smart does, and if we don't like that, we'll just do a regular unwrap. So let's make sure it's all selected. Smart UV project. And that's interesting, but that could be workable. I might go back to that. Well, let's see. And I probably don't need a map this huge. I could probably get 512 on this. So this is a relatively small part. But I want to see how my map works if I just try a regular unwrap. Yeah, this works too, see? And this way you can see the grid of the wheel. Everyone's split up 4 halves, but my halves are good too. So, select them all, and I'm going to scale this. Wait, give myself a little bit more room to work with. And I do like UV mapping in Blender because it does seem to spread things out better than Wings does in UV mapping. I thought the UV mapping on Wings, like I said, it's not bad, but both of these programs are better than some other of the commercial software I've seen when it comes to UV mapping. It's kind of funny to get people spend like hundreds of dollars, and for this type of stuff, it's actually better to use the free software. I gotta laugh at that art, but it's true to some extent. At least from what I've seen. Edge selection. And what I'm going to do is create quads on this part, which is that part there. So I'm going to scale Y0, just make sure it's squared up. And then same with the X here. Same with the X here. I'm just scaling it, making sure it's squared off. And I'm going to select face if I can get it. And while that is selected, I am going to go back to unwrap and hit follow active quads. And it squares this whole thing out. See how that is? Straightens it all out. So now that island is a nice square grid. Which is kind of a useful thing. I'll do the same thing with the other half that's next to it. So I gotta go back to edge mode. SY0. SY0. I guess I could have probably turned my screen keys on, but I didn't bother with that this time. SX0. SX0, and that squares that off. Control tab to get this little menu up. That little menu, by the way, is the same as scrolling down over here and finding it. It does the same thing. And back there, have that selected. Back to unwrap and follow active quads. And bam. Looks good, but I think I need to do is UVs, average island scale. Let's make sure everything's sized relative to what the parts go to. Still seems like their scales are off a bit. I don't know why it is. Yeah, the size is slightly different. Is there a way to size these so they're the same? Alrighty. One, two, three, four, 6, 7, 8. These should be the same size or not. I don't know why. Boy, that is touchy as hell. Alright, let me try something here. I think there may be a way to snap it. And is there a way to scale from cursor? Yeah, there is. Okay. It's glued them together when I wasn't expecting it to do that. It's not behaving very well right now. I don't know what the deal is. It's like it's stuck together. You know what? I still have that turned on. That's what it is. I gotta turn that off and move it over. Okay. Something was up, but I just didn't know what. And it's kind of eyeballed, but it looks like it's close to the right size. Yeah. There, it is better. Alright. Looks a little funky, but you can see there's no unwanted stretch to some degree, and it should be paintable, so that's fine there. Yeah, basically you'd follow the same process for this and the tread and the rest of the stuff, and I'll probably come back and do another video when it's time to paint. But yeah, it's pretty much the process. And for the wheels, use the quads to straighten out the edges, and I like the split too. But like I said, for the wheels, that layout that the smart UV layout thing does is pretty good, so that might work too. But for some things, like this part here, the smart didn't want to work, so you just gotta do it manually. But I showed you both ways, so there you go. If you're following along and you got your tank, just do kind of like what I did and work along, and I'm sure you can figure out the rest doing what I did here. So I'm not gonna make it too much longer video, so yeah. Come back again when it's time to paint the thing. And if your scale, you don't like the scale of this, you can change your UV texture size or whatever. I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out. Till next time, I'll see you then. I hope it's not as long.